Good afternoon. Let's try that again. Good afternoon. All right. Today's a day of celebration, a day that we can look at our athletes that have a tremendous accomplishment before them, going to set out in their career. I'm going to tell a little story. I always question whether or not people actually want to hear stories that I tell, but here it goes. You know, they told me I had to speak for 2 to 3 minutes, so here we go. When I was sitting there in 8th grade playing football, and I was a wide receiver, our team went 0-8. And I would like to tell you that team later on went in one state, but they did not. My lasting memory of that team was, as a wide receiver, is that I never caught a pass. Pretty impressive, huh? Well, that's because the quarterback could never throw the ball that far, all right? And then I later played basketball, and then when I went into education, I started coaching. And one of the greatest accomplishments in the coaching was the day when the athletes signed. I coached boys basketball and girls softball. And a lot of the athletes that we coached went on to college. So on behalf of the district, congratulations. Because whether you were on an 0-8 football team someday, you know, your career may have started the same way mine did. You weren't very successful early on, but you persevered. And you're here today because you persevered. Probably the only people that are more happy than you are that you're here getting this are your parents that are thinking, hey, I don't have to pay as much for college, or I'm not having to pay anything for college. Isn't that right, parents? Amen. But on behalf of the district, and I mean this sincerely, if you are here, you have a skill set, not just, a lot of people think it's just athletic. To get these scholarships, it requires academics too. So you're a well-rounded student, and that makes us very proud. And that's an accomplishment people don't realize. Having been an athlete, having been a coach, all of our coaches, coaches worry about the wins and losses, but they also worry about the grades on a week-to-week basis. They invest time. So parents and athletes, without our coaches, I promise you wouldn't be here. So would you please give our coaches a round of applause for all the work that they do for our kids? And I'm about to get off stage, but I did notice that one of my 7 bosses just walked in, and so obviously I'm smart enough to recognize that. Miss Linda Griffin, board member, would you please give her your acknowledgement? Our board members do a tremendous job. We had an event last night where we had a board meeting, and Miss Griffin was probably I was not at the PTA thing today, and she was probably at that. And our board members put in a lot of time. So if you see them out in the community, be sure and thank them for all the time and efforts. But on behalf of the district, I'm going to turn this over, but thank you, congratulations, and I'm excited to hear and see all the athletes walk across stage. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm going to back up away just a little bit because I'm pretty loud here. Well, Dr. Morrison, I think, stole all my thunder, so I'm not going to say a whole lot, but what a great day today is, and you know, what a great day it is to be a student athlete. And what a great day it is to be a student athlete in Garland ISD. And I tell you what, as an administrator here in Garland, it makes me proud to stand up here and recognize each and every one of you as you guys go on to move on to a great college career. I mean, what a testimony it is to each and every one of you that you've been able to work through all your, not only all your athletic things on the field, but also to work on your academics. And that really speaks volumes for each and every one of you. So I also want to say congratulations to each and every one of you. And so with that, why don't we move on to the presentation of athletes. So what we're going to do here is I call your school, if you will please stand up, and if you're on the right side, if you'll move to the right side of the stage, it'd be your left. And for those of you on the left, when I call your school, if you'll move to the right side of the stage, and we will get started. So with the presentation of athletes, we will start with Garland High School. Coach Jeff Jordan. Jalen Evans, Harding University. Carvantes VJ Gates, Tyler Junior College. Drashane Glass, Illinois State University. Cameron Haskins, Ouachita Baptist University. Devontae Hayden, Wayland Baptist University. Latrion Jones, University of Kansas. Bayshawn Scott, Arkansas Tech University. Girls soccer and Coach Stacy Price. Brianna Earl, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College. Bianca Galindo, Northeast Texas Community College. Ana Ramirez, Northeast Texas Community College. Ruth Rosales, Northeast Texas Community College. Let's have another round of applause for our student athletes from Garland High School. Lakeview Centennial High School. First, we have boys baseball, Coach Kendall Miller. Chase Broski, Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Now we move on to football. Trey Adkins, Henderson State University. Kelvin Davis, Texas A&M University. Brent Davenport, Emporia State University, Kansas. TJ Milburn, Texas A&M University, Commerce. Chakota Peachy, Maryville College, Tennessee. Dion McKnight, Prairie View A&M University. Xavier Pinedo, Midwestern State University. Patrick Williams, Howard Payne University. Next, we have boys track. Coach Rusty Malone. Alvin Chikese, Texas State University. Now we have girls track and Coach Deja Rolfe. And I apologize, Taryn A9. Student athlete Deja Rolfe, Sam Houston State. Let's give one more round of applause for our student athletes from Lakeview Centennial High School. Now let's have the student athletes from Naaman Forest High School. First we have football and Coach Sam McElroy. Jacob Charvos, Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Marcus Perkins, Grambling State University. Chance Rogans, Trinity Valley Community College. Justin Walker, Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Next, we have girls soccer and Coach Jill Miller. Courtney McKeon, University of Tulsa. Next, girls volleyball and Coach Lisa Curry. Paxton Wade, University of the Incarnate Word. McKenna Yablon, Southern Nazarene University. And let's give one more round of applause for our student athletes from Naaman Forest High School. And now welcome to the stage the student athletes from North Garland High School. Football coach Joe Castillo. Willie Hobdy, Texas Southern University. Tristan Miserak, Texas State University. And let's have another round of applause for our student athletes from North Garland High School. Next, let's have our student athletes from Rowlett High School. Start with football and Coach Doug Stevens. Caleb Bowers, Southwest Assemblies of God University. Cedric Johnson, Louisiana Tech University. Next, we have girls basketball and head coach Ricky Rowland. Taylor Alexander, East Texas Baptist University. Courtney Fine, John Brown University. Next, we have girls soccer and head coach Jason Fagreas. Grayson Bird, University of Oklahoma. Ashley Catlin, Paris Junior College. Gabby De Leon, University of Arkansas. Next, we have girls softball and head coach Philip Spaniel. Grayson Langley, Tyler Junior College. Carly Shelton, University of the Ozarks. Victoria Thornton, Rose State College. Now girls volleyball and Coach Summer Johnson. Jasmine Lewis, Prairie View A&M University. And let's have another round of applause for our student athletes from Rowlett High School. Next we have Saxe High School. We'll start with boys baseball and Coach Chris Burrow. Colton Lazinski, Heston College. Now we have football and Coach Red Behrens. Gavin Burrell, Langston University. Alec DeValero, Midwestern State University. Tyreek Edwards, University of Central Arkansas. Brian Hudson, Southern Nazarene University. Marcus Hubbard, University of Louisiana at Monroe. James Maiden, Rice University. Kent Myers, Utah State University. A.J. Rowland, Midwestern State University. Alex Spellbauer, University of Mary Hardin Baylor. Hunter Swain, University of Louisiana at Monroe. Next we have girls basketball and Coach Donna McCullough. I apologize once again. We're going to skip to boys basketball. Marlo Johnson, Weston College. And now we will go to girls basketball and Coach Donna McCullough. Mariah Reed, Fisk University. Next we have girls soccer and Coach Kristen Campbell. Jade Abarca, Lipscomb University. Chelsea Followell, University of South Alabama. Next we have girls softball and Coach Casey Nelson. Bree Carlisle, Hendrix College. Girls volleyball and Coach Ricky Jones. Ebony Carter, University of Tulsa. And let's have another round of applause for our student athletes from Saxe High School. South Garland High School. Please welcome football coach Mark Cox to the stage. Eric Coleman, Trinity Valley Community College. Dion Johnson, Bethany College. Flozel Nipper, Bethany College. Braylon Thorns, Bethany College. And one final, we're going to jump back to Naaman Forest High School, girls basketball coach Derek Short. Michaela Buckner, Baylor University. Let's have one more round of applause for our athletes from South Garland High School. And also one more round of applause from all of our student athletes today for representing GISD. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Melvin Bullitt, former Naaman Forest High School graduate, also former pro football player for the Indianapolis Colts.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Today is really special. I just remember looking back when I graduated or when I signed, it wasn't anything like this. We signed in the coach's office at 7 a.m. He let me get some chocolate milk, Coach Patterson. He was like, go ahead, which was illegal at the time because you can't get benefits. But just to see this is awesome. You know, you guys signing. And one thing that I do want you to know, yes, you're signing a letter of intent, but this is the beginning. And it's really a contract. The school is giving you an opportunity to get an education. I was fortunate enough to graduate in 3.5 years from Texas A&M University. And yeah, so I saw a future Aggie right there. A good friend of mine is Troy Kim. I still talk to him today. He's the academic advisor for the student athletes, for the football players, so he'll take care of you. But anyways, my first semester, I remember I set my alarm. It was for, my first class was at 8 a.m. Breakfast check was at 7. But as soon as we got there was a big frat party. So all the football players went out. I was like, you know what, no big deal, I'll be fine. You know, I set my alarm, 7 a.m., I got class at 8, plenty of time to get to breakfast check. So I go to sleep, I get home at about 3 a.m. You know, we had a great time. Of course, all the football players think that, you know, they were the man on their own school campus. So it was all about seeing who could get the most girls, right? Didn't work out for any of us. We all looked dumb, okay? Anyways, we get back to our room, and about 3 of us call each other the next day. We're like, hey, man, what happened? And I was like, what's going on? I set my alarm for 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. So I missed breakfast check. I missed the first day of class. And my first week of school, I ran 8x8s, which wasn't fun. And basically what that told me is when you get to college, your parents aren't there to wake you up. You have to be responsible. You have to do the things you're supposed to do. My mom and dad, they always instilled in me, make sure you're on time. You be there, if the coach says be there at 8, you make sure you get there at 7:30. Make sure you're already warmed up before practice even starts. And I made sure, you know, I wasn't the best athlete. You know, I played against Coach Jordan for Garland. I played against them a few times, and they always had a great team. And even on that team, sometimes I wondered, would I have started? I wasn't sure. But I always knew if I worked hard enough in the summer, in the off season, I'll have a great chance to be a good player. I never was the best, ever. I was never the fastest. I never won district in anything. I never won district in track. I never had the fastest 40 time. But I made sure no one was going to outwork me. And when I got to college, I had to realize that with my grades as well, because that's number one. In order to play sports, you have to get your academics done first. And that's something that your coaches kind of don't tell you. And that's why I'm fortunate enough to be in the position I am today, getting my degree early. I have my degree now. I don't have to use it because I was fortunate enough to play in the NFL, but one day I will need to use it. And a lot of my friends who did go to college, who made some bad choices, don't have their degrees. So you guys make sure when you get to school, the number one thing you need to do, go meet with your academic advisor. Say, hey, you know what? Put me in some classes that kind of will help me out a little bit. You know, build that GPA up a little. I know some of you want to be engineers and doctors. That's great. I have nothing against that. But make sure you have a couple cushion classes. These are things coming from a real student in college, a true student athlete, okay? Because I was an athlete first at one time. And then once I learned what college was about, I became a student first. And that's what it's truly about. You guys have a contract, and that's what you sign. It's really not a letter of intent because you have a contract with them. They really don't have a contract with you. At any time, they can let you go. But if you keep your grades up, you do what you're supposed to do inside the classroom, you do what you're supposed to do on the football field or the soccer field or in the weight room, they will always use you as an example for when new students want to sign with their school. They'll say, hey, Melvin Bullock came here. He graduated in 3.5 years with a 3.0. Or he graduated and did this and he moved on to the next level. So you guys make sure you go out there, work hard. Your parents aren't there. The only parents you have are the ones that are talking in your ear, telling you, hey, you know you're supposed to be at this class at this time. Or hey, you know you don't need to be hanging with this group of guys. All right? Congratulations, everyone. I'm so happy for you, and thank you for you all having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Melvin. Great job. What a great testimony from a Naaman Forest grad, GISD grad. It has been successful not only at the college level, but also at the professional level with the Colts. But hey, great day. Signing day. Moms, dads, hey, thank you for your support, because without your support and taking them to all those games from this big all the way to this big, they would not be here today. You have done a great job of raising these young women and young men, and we look forward to great things from you. But let's give the parents a hand real quick for all they did to make this day possible. Ladies and gentlemen, your best friends you'll ever see or ever have are the ones that were your teammates in high school. Stay in close contact with them. You'll need them in good times and bad times. Stay in contact with your coaches that are a very important part of the day. They were instrumental. Look for them for guidance. But the most important thing I think we got from Melvin today is this. Education is number one. We want to see you. We want you to come back and visit. But we don't want you to come home without that degree. That's number one today, and make sure you do that. And if you redshirt, get 2 degrees, get your master's. Let them pay for it all. Come back, and we hope to see you in a few years. Thank you for everybody coming today, and for Chris Moore and the Communications Department for putting this together. Have a great day, and thank you.